What's up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and last week we kind of closed the book on 2023 where I talked about my top 5 favorite games of the year. So the next couple of videos, I'm going to kind of use it as a springboard to 2024. These next 2 videos, I'm going to talk about what I'm looking forward to in 2024. And right around this time of the year, everybody makes New Year's resolutions. I'm guilty as well. I made a few as well. However, since this channel focuses on gaming, as you might have already guessed it, or you just read the title of this video, you know that I'm gonna make my 2024 gaming resolutions. So without further ado, let's rock. So technically this is the first time I've ever made a video like this on this channel. However, I do plan on making this a yearly thing. So this part of the video next year will be me recapping how I did on the resolutions I'm about to make. I think that it's really easy to make this type of content. You come on here, act all high and mighty that you're gonna do this or that, but then you have nothing to keep you accountable. So I do wanna make this a yearly thing, and this first part of the video will be me hopefully not eating that much shit for the resolutions I didn't do, but kind of recapping how well or how poorly I did with the resolutions I made the year previous. So I guess you'll just have to check out next year's video to see how I did this year. But before we get to my 2024 gaming resolutions, do me a quick favor and smash that like button, as the kids say. Not only does it help me out by telling YouTube that it's good content and they should push it to other people, but also this is not the normal type of content that I post on this channel. So if you like it, that lets me know that this is stuff that I should try to fit in more often. So I have 4 2024 gaming resolutions, and I think I'll start this video by talking about the one I think is the most common amongst gamers. We all have backlogs. We all have games that we want to play that we just don't get around to, especially a gamer like myself who tries and of course fails to play pretty much everything that comes out. I'm constantly adding more games to my ever-growing backlog. So every year I try to make the resolution of picking 5 games from that backlog to play throughout the year. And I know 5 games does not sound like a lot, but when you're like me and try to play everything that comes out throughout the year, trying to find time to fit in 5 games to play from your backlog does get challenging at times. And I don't just say, oh, I'm gonna play 5 random games from my backlog list, and I just randomly pick a game when the time comes when I have time to play it. I always try to pre-select the games prior to making the resolution. I believe that keeps me honest. It doesn't just come down to the last month or 2 of the year and I'm scrambling to check off 5 games and I just pick the games that don't take very long. So I do pre-select the games ahead of time, and here are the games that I have selected for 2024. Honestly, I'm really disappointed in myself that I didn't play the Warriors game when it first was released. I will cut myself a little bit of slack. I was a poor college freshman when that game first came out, but I am a big fan of the movie. At one point when I was younger, it was my favorite movie of all time. I did just rewatch it for the first time in years the other day, and not everything holds up, but it's still a very cool movie. Plus, the PlayStation Store was doing a sale a couple of months back. I think it was their Black Friday sale, and the game was only a couple of bucks, so I got it for super cheap, and I can't wait to play it as soon as I'm done with Baldur's Gate 3. And now that I've played Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2 is the last big game that I wanted to play last year that I didn't get a chance to. And the reason I didn't get a chance to play it was I wanted to make time to play the original, which I had never played before. Obviously, that didn't happen. I've always heard good things about the original. It definitely has a cult following at this point, and I'm definitely not gonna let history repeat itself with this franchise. I'm gonna finally play both of these great games. And the only thing I've ever heard about Sleeping Dogs from the few people that I know that have played the game is that they're surprised that it wasn't a bigger hit, that it's this kind of underrated open world action adventure game. And I really like that genre. And this game was also on sale on Steam, so I bought it for a few bucks and I'm really excited to play it. And to kind of complete the accidental theme of this list, I'm going to add Brutal Legend to the list of backlog games that I want to play in 2024. It's also a game that I bought for super cheap on Steam. I'm really bad about buying games for super cheap during these Steam sales and then never playing them. So this is kind of a 2-for-1 resolution. I'm trying to check off these games because I want to play them and they've been on my backlog for a while, but these are also, some of these games at least, are also games that I paid money for. As far as Brutal Legend is concerned, I'm a big fan of Jack Black and I've only heard good things about it. It's kind of similar to Sleeping Dogs, where the few people that I know that have played this game are surprised that it wasn't a bigger hit. And while I will be playing some of those games on PlayStation 5 and PC because I've already purchased them on those platforms, I'm planning on playing the Alan Wake games on my Xbox because my next resolution is I want to finally crack that 100,000 gamer score milestone on Xbox. And honestly, I would have hit that milestone a couple of years ago. I do have a podcast, The Nerd You're Looking For, and we do a similar episode to this video where we make Nerd Year's resolutions. And a couple of years ago, back when I only had 60,000 gamer score, I made a resolution on that episode to hit 75,000. And it's honestly the Nerd Year's resolution that I got to the quickest. I think I cracked 75,000 gamer score by like March that year. And I briefly considered bumping it up to 100,000, which I've never bumped up a resolution before. So that was a big deal. But Elden Ring had just come out and I was slowly grinding my way through that game. And I actually made a separate video about this, but shortly after, I think I was about halfway through Elden Ring, my Xbox Series X shit the bed and I just couldn't play it anymore, which definitely halted my progress to 100,000 gamer score. Now I would still get achievements here and there after my Xbox shit the bed, but those were only on games that I could play on Game Pass on my PC. If a game wasn't day one Game Pass and I couldn't play it on my PC, I would play it on PlayStation 5. And the only reason I'm making this resolution in 2024 is a few months ago, I bought the Goth all black Series S, and so I've been playing a lot more games on my Xbox again. So I don't know if I mentioned this, I probably should have if I didn't. I'm currently at about 81,000 and some change. So I have about 20,000 gamer score before I hit that 100,000 gamer score milestone. So those first two gaming resolutions are going to be very easy for me to quantify at the end of the year. Did I play the 5 games I wanted to play from my backlog? Yes or no? Did I hit 100,000 gamer score? Yes or no? These last two resolutions are going to be kind of more of a feeling. They're going to be very hard for me to quantify at the end of the year. And the first is I want to start streaming more. Yes, I have a Twitch channel, Patty McNinja on Twitch, but I don't really stream that much. I actually don't even know if I streamed at all in 2023. I actually started the Twitch channel before I started posting videos on this YouTube channel. I wanted to make content. I wanted to make gaming related content, but I'm a busy guy. I have a lot of other hobbies. I have a full-time job. I have a wife and some dogs I'd like to hang out with. So I didn't think that I could be a YouTuber. I thought the streaming would be an easier route for me to go because there's no planning, there's no editing. It's just you sitting down, playing the games and trying to be entertaining. And I thought I could do that way easier than I could creating YouTube content. Well, I started streaming and I really enjoyed it. And it's hard to grow on Twitch. So I was like, well, I've heard if you have a YouTube channel and you make content on YouTube, you can kind of bring people to Twitch. And so I tried that. That's kind of why I started posting to this channel originally, was I was making content on Twitch, cutting it up, and then putting it on YouTube. And I thought that that'd be a good way to bring people to my Twitch channel. Well, I got way more satisfaction from making YouTube content, and I really couldn't keep up with both things. So the Twitch channel kind of went on the back burner and I made YouTube much more of a priority. So my plan moving forward, and obviously I reserve the right to pivot if this doesn't seem to work, I will still eat shit next year's resolution video if I don't do this, but my plan moving forward is I'm not going to be able to set a set schedule. where I stream 2 or 3 times every week, same days, times, all that stuff. I know that that's kind of how you have to do it on Twitch to grow, but there's just no way between everything that I do that I'm going to be able to do that. However, since I do a lot of game reviews on this channel and I don't get review copies, when a game comes out on a Friday, that's all I'm doing Friday and Saturday. I get off work on Friday, come home, have dinner, play the game until essentially I fall asleep. Wake up on Saturday, have breakfast, go to the gym, play the game the rest of the day. And hopefully the plan is that I get the game beaten by Saturday night. Sometimes I have to play it a few hours Sunday morning, but typically I want my Sunday morning to be I wake up, have breakfast, maybe go to the gym, write the review, record the review, edit, and post. That way it can come out on Monday morning. So since I already have that plan in place, I could just be streaming those games Friday and Saturday. Since that's what I'm going to be doing anyways, I might as well be streaming that. So instead of making a schedule to start streaming every week for like 2 or 3 days that I know I'm never gonna hit, I might hit a week or so, but I'm gonna be so sporadic with that type of schedule. There's more likelihood that I'm gonna stick with, hey, anytime I review a game, I'm gonna put that game on my Twitch schedule. Like, hey guys, 6 p.m. Central Time, I'm gonna start streaming the Suicide Squad game. And then noon on Saturday, I'm gonna start streaming it again. And then that's gonna basically be my stream schedule for 2024. And my final 2024 gaming resolution, and it's definitely the one that's the hardest to quantify. To be honest, you're really just gonna have to take my word for it in my recap next year, whether or not I did this. But in 2024, I wanna make an effort to what I call live in games more. And what I mean by that is, I have friends that game, and when they buy a game, they plan on playing it for hundreds of hours. I have a buddy at work who loves the Dark Souls games, and he replays those games a couple of times a year. I think he's probably put over 1,000 hours in just Dark Souls 3. And I really admire that commitment to a particular game or franchise. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of jealous of that. I wish I could do that more. And that's what this resolution's all about. Now, of course, I do love a lot of different types of games. I'm a big fan of a lot of different genres, and I do still want to play as many games that come out as I can. However, I do feel like I need to get better at getting my money's worth from games. Now, there are a few games here and there throughout the year that I do kind of get hyper focused on, like the Resident Evil 4 remake. I've already talked about that. I've replayed that game like 20 times. I've at least put 100 hours into it. Of course, there are games like Marvel Spider-Man 2 that I platinum, but I could do more of that. I definitely could get my money's worth for more games. Now, I review a lot of games on this channel, and some of those games are trash. Like Gollum last year was my least favorite game of the year. It was garbage. I was never gonna play that game more. I reviewed it, I told you how bad it was, and that was kind of it for me. I wasn't gonna continue playing that game. So there's still some games that I'm gonna play and be done with and never think about again. But for the most part, I could do a way better job of getting my money's worth for games. So I kind of want to live in that game a little bit more than I have in the past. But those are just my 2024 gaming resolutions. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Of course, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button. As the kids say, it just tells YouTube that it's a good video and they should push it to other people that might like this content. If you do enjoy this content, which I assume that you do because you made it this far in the video, definitely consider subbing and dinging that bell. That way you're notified every time I post another video. I try to post weekly gaming related content. So if you like that type of content, definitely consider subscribing and dinging that bell. But until next video, take it easy. What's up, YouTube people? It's your boy Patty McNinja, and this is my boy Yoshi, aka Kitty Boy. And we were just talking, and we agree that since you made it this far in the video, you might as well subscribe. You wouldn't want to disappoint Kitty Boy, would you?